Welcome to Sacred Wandering with Kira Brinton. My friend, this is a corner of the world where time stops, where the noise in our minds quiet, where we have soft hearts and we open our palms and we ask. This is a place where we receive. I invite you to join me as we wander through the sacred together. Welcome to Sacred Wandering. Good morning, my love. I welcome you into this space with a grateful heart to be right here with you. Let's take a nice breath in together. We're going to breathe it all the way down to the tips of our toes. Let's do it again. And out. We're going to invite all of our angels and all of our guides in and through the divine light to come and sit with us, to hold this space in grounded safety, in peace, in light. We're going to ask that God may cleanse our ears, that any cotton that we have energetically placed in our ears so that we don't hear God, so we don't hear truth, so that we can be in avoidance. We're going to ask that God will clear this out of our ears so that we may be able to have our ears be cleared, cleansed, and then activated to match the frequency of the voice of God so that we may hear truth, so that we may hear the messages that God has for us. We're going to ask that light may cleanse our third eyes, that we'll have access to all of our gifts of seeing visions, our gifts of hearing God, our gifts of creation. We're going to ask that light may cleanse our lips, that they may be prepped, prepared, and anointed to the meeting with God. We're just going to breathe in and breathe out. I'm going to begin today by reading a message from God, probably one of my most, it's a very powerful message. These are the words that God said to me. Your eyes are choosing to make a familiar shape out of new contents. Ask God to help you see truth. Witness the beauty that is arising. Witness the beauty that is arising. And really what I saw when I got this message was how often do we have truth in front of us? How often do we have truth in front of us? And yet we see it only from the past. And so we see new things happening, but we filter it through our past experiences, through past shapes. And so the newness can't be new because we're just turning it into the past. We're turning it in to match our past experiences. And so today, I'm going to invite you to place an old pattern that seems to be reoccurring, a pattern that just keeps arising, and we're going to put it into God. And we're going to allow God to transfigure it into the truth so that we may see truth. Because something that came to me this morning in my prayers was that fear can never live in truth. So when we are in truth, fear has no access. So we're going to ask that today God will show us truth. And as we see the truth, we're going to feel the fear dissipate because truth is God and fear can't exist in the presence of God. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in, picking up whatever old pattern you no longer want, need, desire. We're going to place them into God. We're going to ask for it to be transfigured. And then we're going to go into prayer and ask that God may touch our cells, that our cells may match the frequency of truth. That anything that is not of truth will be sloughed off of our bodies, cleared out of our lives, and that our cells may match the frequency of truth. That we're going to ask that God and Christ will place their hands on our heads that we may hear the blessing that is being bestowed upon us today. And I'm going to be quiet while you receive. Take a nice deep breath in, allowing light to move down through the body, allowing truth to be the rhythm of your day, truth to be the rhythm of the being, truth to be the rhythm of your actions, truth to be what runs through your mind. And we're going to open up our palms. And we're going to ask God, what is the number one most important thing you need from me today? And what you hear, you're going to write it down. We're going to ask for our angels to help us take this action, that this action becomes our commandment, that this is the work that must be done today and everything else falls away. We're going to ask for angels to open up the pathways of miracles in front of us, that the doors may be opened, that the windows unfolded, that the ceilings cleared, that abundance may pulse through the very being of who we are. May today be a day where the language in which you live by is truth. And with that, I thank you for wandering into the sacred with me, and I will see you tomorrow morning in our prayer corner. Thank you, my love, for wandering into the sacred with me today. It is always an honor to hold this space for thousands of us to gather daily in sacred devotion. If you feel called to deepen this practice and join me live, I invite you to be a part of the Sacred Wandering Circle, a private, intimate space where we share our daily blessings in a Facebook group and gather once a month for a live 1-hour session. We come together to bless the body, to pray, and to receive. There is so much power when we unite with others who hold the sacred sacred. If your heart is nudging you, you can find the link in the show notes. And remember, you don't need anyone to help you hear God. You are the conduit. God speaks directly to you. And your prayer corner, it lives within you always.